This is July 8th, 2013. We just got back from your 70th alumni at Platteville, where Aunt Mary was there and Becky and Brenda. But okay, so I just want to ask you a few of these questions, and I want you just to give the answer that you think of. What are the most important things in life?
Well, love, friendship, and health.
Love, friendship, and health. I totally agree. What a wonderful thought. What should one's priorities be? Just think about it. No hurry. We got lots of time on our.
Well,
Like your priorities. What now do you think your person's priorities should be? Go ahead. It's just your own. There's no right or wrong. Just your own personal.
My priorities would be be able to walk, you know,
Right. Yes.
and well, I can't do anything about it. I'd even get rid of my pills.
Yeah. Would one of your life priorities be to? Well, that was good. That would be what you would like to. You wish you could do that. What was the greatest adventure in your life?
Traveling.
Was your greatest adventure? Any particular place? Was there a particular place was your favorite place? I know you had many. But
My favorite place, and probably the only one to go back to today, for example,
yeah,
would be Africa.
Africa was part of what in Africa was going over the Serengeti,
Oh, the
the
Serengeti,
balloon.
and we're riding a balloon over the migration.
Yes, yes, how beautiful. Yeah, that was quite a trip. Can you share some of your favorite memories from your childhood?
Well, one of my favorite memories of my childhood was being able to be with my dad, and even like his cigarettes.
Yes, on the tractor, right? Would you ride?
Oh, no.
Tell that story about how.
Well, I would cultivate something, and then we didn't have tractor, we just horses.
Horses, yeah,
And he would set me between his legs, and like I was just driving
yeah.
down the road,
Uh-huh.
and I just went every place with it because
Yeah,
then other kids wouldn't play with me.
yeah, well, and you were real close to your dad. Was, probably any memory with your dad. Yeah, how cool. If you could do one thing in life again, what would it be?
Get a better education.
Get a better education? Do you know what? What would you have liked to do if you just could have done it over again?
I wish I would have got an education, veterinarian.
Yeah, yeah.
Now that was a heartbreaker that I couldn't make it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
What happened?
well, you can only so many. You 2 years is what it take. If you don't make it in 2 years, why they only allow 50 to get into class.
Oh.
And in the first one, why I studied hard because I hadn't been in school for a long time. And I came out 56 or 7 out of class anyway,
Yeah.
and so I didn't make it.
Oh.
And then I did a second term, and you could take 2 terms.
Uh-huh.
I took a second term, and I studied like, oh God, your mother and I worked on it, studying and on it, and I 53rd in the class.
Oh,
So I couldn't take it anymore. But the only thing bad thing about that, the guy that got it, Dad was well, Monfort, you know, Kenny Monfort, his son. He came to class, he came in when I was second year, and he came in and he didn't do nothing. He came about once or twice a week to class, and he was number one in the class. But you know, damn good well was bought,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, I know that, I know your dream was to be in veterinary science, but what your choices were always very good though, Dad, because everybody always called you lucky, but you know, you make your own luck, and you worked hard. Everything you got, Dad, it wasn't lucky, it was smart, is what it was, and I've always
I'm
believed
not
that.
smart enough.
Well, it was smart, and you made the right moves at the right time, and knowing that is a real talent. That's the talent, and that's what I tell people very often about you. My story about you, how you. If you could do anything today, tomorrow, but now, if you just had your choice, someone came up to you and says, Ray, I'm just gonna give you the power to do anything right now. What would you do?
I'd probably travel,
Travel?
yeah,
Where would you want to go?
all over the world.
Would you want to do that all over again?
90% of it anyway,
Yeah,
you know.
probably with Mom by your side, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because, well, she made it so we could, you know, she always, before we ever went on a trip, more than one country, why she would go to school and take courses in it. Well, where's the bathroom at?
How to say it. Yeah,
And then,
the important things. Uh-huh.
and, yeah,
And she'd study the history of the countries,
and
wouldn't she?
study the history of the countries,
Uh-huh. Yeah, I know all about them like that.
yeah, and,
One thing I thought you might say that you would do was go golfing.
golfing and bowling, both were very,
Which did you enjoy more?
well, I think I probably would say, bowling, because I did more of that than anything.
Bowling?
I got in that thing, there are all kinds of, we won them, well, Michael's on a lot of it.
I know, he was your bowling partner for years.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
when we did for the Masons,
Uh-huh,
I don't know how many years, but we won first place.
uh-huh, yeah, you
And
did.
yeah, and bowling with Michael rather than, you know, some of the people I did bowl with.
Yeah, you and Michael made a good team. And then, let's see, what else? Boy, this brings up all kinds of things to, let's see, if you had one thing that you would like to tell Jameson, what would it be?
Make friends.
Make friends? Very good. And if you had something to say to Jessica and Jonathan, or separately, what would it be?
Well, gotta have, that's what they have, is it life, I would like to see Jonathan get back in the computer work that he used to do when he was at that place down there.
Right?
And I would like Jonathan to do that. And Jessica is in a pretty good place for herself. She likes it.
Uh-huh,
And anyway, I'm convinced that she likes it.
uh-huh, uh-huh,
And, yeah.
very good.
And she does very well at her work.
Yes, she does.
And John does too, he's, you know,
Does very well at his work, but you'd like him to do his graphic design and his,
Yeah.
And if you,
learn, because one day you get too old to learn very much.
very good words of wisdom, Dad. Yes, that's right. And, if you had one thing to say to Randy and I, what would you say? Well, you probably say it all to me all the time, but you could.
Well, I really think that, you and Randy and your mother and I, when we all had that motor home, you know,
Yeah,
and we used to travel around in it,
yeah,
and always stop beside the road, get to a food stand, get a corn on the cob,
yeah,
and then we'd just eat it cold,
yeah,
and even cooked.
yeah, yeah. Lots of good memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, memories of, us, of the steak and pork and beans, and memories, memories of,
And when I think about it a lot of times, the traveling we did with you guys and the traveling we did with Randy and Carol, you know,
yeah,
them are always in my mind.
yeah. Those were always good times. The cruise was a wonderful trip, wasn't it, Dad? For
Mhm.
all of us. That really was a wonderful trip.
Yeah, that one, I don't know where it's at right now.
That's this cruise right up, oh, in there, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That cruise was one of the best trips. I always want to relive that one. And, yeah, so many good times. If there was one thing, or if there's something you could say to Mom right now, what would it be?
Well, I don't really know how she. I would tell her that I wish she was still here
Yeah,
and living with me like this.
exactly.
Is which I can't take away is my age, you know,
Yeah,
and I can't take away my health.
yeah, yeah,
And I think she was.
yeah. Well, you always made a good pair. So, yeah.
We did. I think we were left for so many trips and things, you know, and we had.
Worked together well, Dad. Both of you were always pointing towards success, and yeah,
Right? Even when we first started in business,
yeah.
her and you and Randy and I would drive around night after night to filling stations and solicit
Absolutely.
business.
Yes, and I remember, there was a reason you were successful. That's what I mean. It wasn't, you may be lucky, but you worked hard to be where you were, Dad.
There at the right time, though, I guess.
Well, no, things might be about timing, but you gotta be the type person to know what the right timing is. Well, and I guess the one thing that I would probably say to you right now, and we'll call this a wrap,
Yeah.
is just that I love you and I admire you, and you have always been my hero. And I love you, love you, love you, love you, Dad. Oh, I just want to keep that going. Okay.